Anyway, I think, Diane, we have enough people. We have enough people to really start now.
Okay, so we need the usual, well, we don't need a note taker because it's being recorded, because Shiley is still working for us. Okay, so we need a vibes watcher and a timekeeper.
I'll do vibes, but I may need control, so you can vibe me out too.
Okay, so we can all be vibes. How about that? Yeah, okay. And then a timekeeper who would just say time or something.
I can do that maybe.
Oh, thank you, Odile.
It's on my computer, so, but sometimes it's hard to know exactly how long we have for one subject. Oh, I can look in my
Agenda.
Oh,
The agenda. I try to say in the agenda about
Well,
how much each topic should be allowed.
I have my agenda now.
Good, good.
Okay. So, and then, the next is revising the agenda as necessary. Any revisions?
Well, I omitted a new coalition we have joined, and I will put that in 5.3. I wrote it down on my own agenda to remind myself.
Okay, as long as you have it in yours. Okay.
Yes, I'll bring it up at the right time.
Okay.
And as usual, I said some people would not be speaking, and so
right.
if anybody really has something new since the 26th of October, and I crossed them out, then they should speak up. But otherwise, in an effort to not have too long a meeting, I eliminate some topics.
Right. Okay, if there's no others, let's see here. I'm getting texts because I have this new computer and it keeps dinging me now, which I don't like, doggone it. But anyway, okay.
Vibe.
Smack your computer.
Oh, it's so challenging. New computers. Oh my. Anyway, okay, let me go on. So that we have one revision to the agenda. Don't seem to be any more. And then we don't have any new people. So we can go on to approval of the meeting minutes of October 26th. Any changes?
I did not receive any asking anybody for corrections by the time I asked it for them.
Okay, so therefore none today and none then. So I guess it's good to go.
Okay, thank you.
I stand as approved. Okay, so now we're into hot topics, Gaza-Israel situation.
15 minutes.
Yep, hot topics is a total of 15 minutes.
5 each of the 3.
Yeah, 5 minutes each. Okay, so Gaza-Israel, President, I don't want to say his name, but I will. President T pressuring UN Security Council to implement US plan is what
Well,
Cheryl.
that's one of the things that I have noticed in the news. You know, they are part of this whole ceasefire process is what's going to happen afterwards.
Are we on B?
No, we're on A, 4A, Odile.
That's Gaza.
Yes.
I thought that's what I said.
Okay.
Gaza Israel situation.
Yeah. And so
President T.
So Odile sent us all through the Disarm discussion list a very informative op-ed from The Guardian. I'm hoping everybody read it. She sent it a few hours ago.
It said that since the ceasefire has been a month and Israel has violated this 100 times and 200 people have been murdered so far. And they executed Mohammed al-Halak, which was one of the senior advisors to which party? It's not Fatah, it's the other one, to Hamas. So they murdered on the 17th of October. They executed Mohammed al-Alak from the Palestinian leadership. And on the 19th of October, Israel launched 20 airstrikes. So it's far from being a ceasefire.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yes.
That's
It
just my point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. No, I think we see this.
Hamas.
Okay, Alan?
Yes, on the same topic, there's been meeting a international tribunal on Gaza and the end of October, and they just issued their report, which is well worth the reading, though I don't think we're going to discover much that we didn't know, but an excellent report from many countries. I could forward that to the disarm list. I just got it today.
Okay.
Right, and you might recall that WILPF US organizing our own tribunal on the Gaza situation is on our list as a national organization to do that.
Okay.
And so if you, hopefully you all read what Linda Lowe sends you. And I personally go to her her town hall meetings. I don't see many people there, but then she sends out recordings and things. So
So it's Linda Lowe.
she's our executive director. It probably comes as a president at wilpfus.org.
Oh,
There's one coming up. I just don't see when it is. Thought I marked my calendar.
Right, but I'm reporting what she's already said, what was decided through a lot of focus groups and things that we all
to do
took.
our own tribunal.
Yeah, I'm not, following the guidance of Philadelphia, which was helped by our Philadelphia branch.
Okay.
We did one already, and the one Alan's talking about is an international one.
And there is Judy Hunt who has her hand up.
Yep.
Yeah, I just wanted to double check. I believe that I read this morning, or heard, I'm not sure which it was, that the number of dead killed in Gaza is now up to 90,000. Is that correct?
I saw it as 69,000.
That's just the
Well,
ones they
But it's
can.
not correct in
that's
either case.
just-
It's not
it-
correct. It's not
no.
correct. It's an under number.
Underrepresented.
It's
Yeah.
about 10% of the number of people who have died.
That they have counted.
Yeah, it's getting into be 750,000, I think. It's unbelievable. That's all I want. I just wanted to check what the amount is.
Well,
When you see an amount, make sure you know where it comes from.
right. I think, right. There's obviously a lot of people under the rubble that they don't know how many that is. Whether
And I hope you all read I have an e-news that came out this month about the children of Gaza who needs help with their lost limb.
Yeah. Okay.
So it was an e-news and in November, and it has come out now. I saw it and Alan printed it for me, I think.
Yes.
Great. Okay, I think we should go on to Ukraine-Russia war. Okay, status of our June version of détente statement will be in.
So the détente statement that started last December was modified. A new version was made available on June the 2nd. It went out to our lists and plus a whole bunch of peace organizations that I made sure it went to. And because it seemed like last month that maybe some progress was being made, because Putin met Trump in Alaska, I suggested to the ad hoc writing committee that they might want to modify their statement again. Okay. Now, unfortunately, so nothing much happened. And then today, Ellen Mass from Mexico sends us another version, which I did a comparison with the old version. And she's made some changes that I thought we had decided were not good previously. So I told Ellen Mass, we cannot discuss it at this meeting because I think there are still some details that the ad hoc committee, some of whom are here, need to sort out amongst themselves. This is the unfortunate thing with trying to issue a statement, is in a fast-moving situation, which again is the Ukraine-Russia situation. So that, you know, we're very far from a ceasefire. I think we could all agree.
Yeah.
That, you know, the Russians are bombing deep into Ukraine and so on. Judith, you have something to say?
Yeah. Today I collect up magazines, and the most recent magazine I have that's of Time. This is Time magazine, and it was an article written. The title of it is distressing. It's called the gamification of war, gamification. And I started reading it, and we're talking about in Ukraine. Of course, you all know that they're using lots of drones on both sides, but the Ukrainians in particular have been really, that's been only or maybe their biggest defense is the use of drones. And what has happened is they got a guy involved with allocating what the drones would do. And he realized that he could kind of encourage more action and more drone strikes if he would turn it into a game, like a video game, a game that game players play, and that for each kind of hit, whatever you blow up or limb that you tear off, you get points.
Oh my
And
gosh.
yeah, this made me, I'm reporting it because I'm very distressed. The gamification of war, this is quite sickening, quite frightening. And they give them points. If you get a tank, you get 30 points. If you blow off a limb, you get 3 points. You get to report your points, and then if they keep track of who is getting the most points. What drone team is now making the most kills? It's a kill account. And what's stunning is it's very successful. The number of kills has gone up precipitously since they've turned it into a game. And he has an app for it. They have a whole system set up of a specialized series of apps that you can sign into and become a member of. And then you go out with your drones, you and your team, and you kill as many things as you can. And then you report how much back.
Yeah, okay. This is for the soldiers in Ukraine?
Yeah, the soldiers in Ukraine, the Ukrainian military, the drones.
And that means they kill Russian.
Could I speak to this? Because I'm the one who's been following these war games, and that one by Ludmilla, whatever her name was, from Founding Mothers.
Excuse me,
what
that
we're
is
talking about
irrelevant
here.
here.
It is exactly what we're talking about.
No, this is.
It's not irrelevant. This woman owns that company, and they are doing that. And
We've
it
heard
was
about
that kind of scoring that we talked about.
Okay, well, there's another
We
game
know
like it.
that she owns it. I checked a few months ago. She still owns it. And
This
these
is
are the
not the
kinds
game.
of things that are being used and have been used.
Not
Can I
the
finish
same.
my sentence, please? And have been used for a number of years to recruit soldiers. I have tried to get people in this group to read the studies about how they're being used to recruit troops, and no one has taken the time to do it. I'm glad Judith is finally bringing it up.
Okay, so I guess we can go on to diffuse nuclear war, recap on possibly resuming explosive nuclear weapons testing, which they supposedly aren't going to do. But go ahead, Cheryl.
I sent you by the Disarm Discussion Group a series of articles on this very unfortunate instruction that President Trump issued via his social media, which is just an atrocious way of making any policy, is to issue something on social media. Very, totally unprofessional as far as I'm concerned. But anyway, it caused a great furore. You saw a whole bunch of articles that came out. And finally, the Department of Energy, who are the people in charge of any type of nuclear weapons testing, their secretary issued a response that no, we're not going to do explosive testing. It will be, we will continue doing what we do, which is by computer modeling and what they call subcritical testing, which happens under the deep down in Nevada, but they don't actually blow anything up. So it has been rather distracting to a bunch of us who are working in general against trying to abolish nuclear weapons. And of course, it led, as we said it would, it led Putin to say, well, if you're going to do it, we're going to do it, which is the points that Diane and I made when we were in DC lobbying senators about this very thing. And it was like 5 days later that Trump makes his instruction. So anyway, it was, as I said, please read the things that I have sent you through Disarm Discussion List. And there are now, I've mentioned in e-news, and again, I mentioned in that email that 2 different bills have been suggested, one in the House and one in the Senate, that no money should be allowed to be spent on any of this explosive testing. And those actually now have numbers. When I told you about them, they were like 1 or 2 days old. So it takes a few days for a bill to actually get a number. So I will be sending you those numbers. And of course, what you need to do is ask your congressperson to become a co-sponsor of either the House bill or the Senate bill, depending on, well, you should, of course, always write to your own rep in the House and then your 2 senators, especially if they are Republicans. So that's what I would say.
Okay, and I just wanted to say, Roots Action and also World Beyond War, they come out with all these things, and I thought and I mean it's every few days they have this thing, and then automatically your letters are sent to your Congress people. So I keep getting responses from them. But I thought one was about that, but I don't know. But I love it when I can just use the letter they have. You can modify it as you want, except one time I wasn't able to. But anyway, and then it's sent to your Congress people right away. Gloria?
Yeah, I just want to repeat, I don't have an agenda. So Diane, if you could forward it to me, I'd appreciate it.
I sent it to you already, Gloria. I mean, I just sent it about 2 minutes ago. You should have it.
Check, sorry.
And if you,
Okay,
and so
thank you.
what I do, because
Thank you.
I go back, I get so many emails, I have to enter disarm and do a search on disarm. And then I can go through and I'll find the emails from Cheryl pretty easily with the agenda. Okay, Cheryl?
I see McGregor has joined us. You all should have received her emails about the fact there was an ICBM test launch from Vandenberg early on the morning of the 5th of November. And then Scott from the Tri-Valley Cares, plus another woman who works with us, wrote a very good article, an op-ed on why we don't like these launches. So to keep up with all of that, please do read what you receive in the Disarm listserv, the discussion listserv. And they actually did get it published. They did get one published in the Santa Barbara newspaper. So please do read all of that. And again, it's a question of the money to be spent on modernizing it, modernizing the ICBMs, and trying to get, again, your Congress people not to allow any more money on that, and using the House of Dynamite, which we've talked about several times, as an example of what might happen. And I've sent you some articles and pointed you towards some webinars about that. So the people, the experts who know about how Stratcom and stuff would work, say it's pretty realistic. There are certain things they don't like about the House of Dynamite, but the overall feeling you get from it, you should come out of the watching it not feeling very good. So whether that pushes people to actually, you know, talk to their Congress people, we don't know.
Okay, Gloria, I see your chat, but did you have something you wanted to add verbally?
Well, just that I did have that whole big file on these. It was an annotated summary of some of these computer war games, including that Escape from Tarkov, that do precisely what Judith Hand was very upset about. And I can send that to anybody if Judith wants it, or anyone. It's several pages long, covering several different types of games, how they're targeting women and
Yeah.
to get them to enter the military using these games.
Yeah, Gloria, do please send it to me. I appreciate that.
Send it to me also, Odile.
I will put my email address in the chat right now.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so now we're on to campaign reports.
Surely, Gloria, you will send it to all of us.
Okay,
Send it to everybody.
yeah, it's probably
Let's
easiest,
see
but
how I roll in the hand. Yeah, I'll just dig it out and send it to everybody after the meeting.
okay. So for this, we want something new since October 26th to report. Okay, continue to press for disarmament. New International WILPF Disarmament and Demilitarization Working Group. Ellen, Thomas, are you in it? You're put here for it.
Ellen, I put your name on this because you actually attended their first meeting. At the moment, you're muted.
Well, maybe she's not there. So Cheryl, do you want to go ahead with?
Well, yes, it was, so this is the International WILPF has decided to have a new group with that name, as you see it in the agenda. And the first meeting was run by people from Young WILPF, that is the International Young WILPF. And Ellen sent us, I think she sent you all an explanation of it and how she found it very energizing, and they were very well informed. And their next meeting is on December the 2nd, and I've noted it in my own diary to try to attend it. So it's connected with their divesting from militarism, which is another big push that our International WILPF is trying to do. So these are things that it's very good that the International WILPF is now paying attention to these things that we've been trying to do for some time. And so along those lines, I attended the November the 4th meeting of on the next international program. I think some of the rest of you were there. Remember that we did submit some our top 3 priorities to some committee that's been working on the international program. This is what will happen, that it'll go to Congress, the International Congress, next summertime, and then it'll guide what we do for the next 3 years. And dealing with militarization and divesting from too much military spending are some of the things that are actually going to be in that program. And so we had some breakout rooms, and there were people. The one I went to, there were people from Norway and lots of other European countries. So they are, trying to gather together all the things we said and put them into a program. So it'll be much more action oriented. Remember, we didn't like the last program. So this one will be action oriented with things that we're all supposed to be trying to do next, for 3 years. And just on an aside, there were quite a few international secretariat staff present at this meeting. One of them is called Jenny Owlin, who you may have come across. She was in charge of membership, and that apparently was her last meeting. So it would appear that she's retiring from, which was, it's unfortunate because she's been around a long time. And but we knew that the money that they usually get from different governments, the international WILPF, has gone down. And so we do expect to see a reduction in their staff.
Yeah, because Sweden was giving a lot of money, but now
Yes.
Sweden
Won't. Yeah.
Yeah.
Judith, you have a comment on this?
Yeah, it's a question. Another question is, I doubt this is part of it, but is there any mention in this plan of action? Because you say they want action. Is there any commitment to trying to get the United Nations to make a new treaty, a new international treaty against war? Anything like that? Anything about a new treaty?
Ellen
No.
Thomas sent us the Reaching Critical Will report that basically is like a brief book of what was supposed to happen, and their summary of what the particular topics within Disarm is. And I looked at the results very briefly, and resolutions, statements from Guterres. There's no clout there that I could see. If I didn't look in the right place, and I'm just still looking at just the Reaching Critical Will, but Ray Atchison usually covers all of it and summarizes well. I think I was doing and covering the right thing when I was reading this. If there was some sort of real action, sanction, something, I missed it. I saw nothing of that sort.
Right. They do have, they talked a lot about what they call the Women, Peace and Security part of WILPF, okay, where they specifically look at how the UN can respond to war and things like that. So
but that's usually focused on trying to get more women into positions of negotiation.
That's
and
part of it. Yes.
Right.
Yes. So anyway, so no, there is no, I mean, when in my breakout group where we had to say what we really wanted to see happen, I said one of the chief things that WILPF International should work on is getting the NPT review with a good final report, and that the TPNW should be, more countries should sign the TPNW. So those are two treaties that are out there that need work on. So that
they are not treaties to end war.
No, they're not. They're not. Your idea is not in there, Judith. That is your job.
Yeah, that's my job. Okay, thank you.
Okay, so the next item is coalitions. So Cheryl, you're kind of on. You're the one that had a report on this.
Well, this is a new coalition that came to our attention in a roundabout way. It's called Women Transforming Global Security. And it's been started by some very famous women, like the lady who was president of Ireland, and Helen Caldicott. And of course, I got the paperwork here. I just can't put my hand on it. So they invited other organizations to join them. So the global security, it covers all the topics that we tend to cover, not just getting rid of weapons and war, but making sure that there is justice and homelessness is dealt with, and all those other topics that we within all our issue committees here at WILPF US try to deal with. So I had Linda Lowe agree to sign WILPF US on as a member. I signed us on the Disarm Committee on, and I sent this information to Andre Sheldon, who has been trying for some years to get what he calls, a group of really important women to take this up, because it's the newspapers. If the lady who was the president of Ireland and helped to get the peace accords worked out for Ireland says something, then the major media will pick it up, so it seems like a good idea. They haven't actually done anything yet. So it's a coalition of groups. Okay, so that is one of them.
Before you go on, my hand is up. Yeah, I would, that is one of the main things that PEP is also interested in forming, or being part of a coalition of groups. And could you send me the information of the name of that group?
Yeah, I'm going to put it in the chat right now. Here we go. So this is that one I've just put in. That's their main website. They do have themselves quite a nice website. And then I'm going to put the names of what they're calling their inaugural members. And their inaugural members are the women who are in charge of a lot of organizations that we've all heard about. Okay, so that's a PDF that you can download. So let me just tell you, some of the people here are, okay, people we know. Emma Belcher, who's head of the Ploughshares Group. Alexander Bell is the president and CEO of the Bulletin of the Atomic Scientists. Somebody else works on infectious diseases. Somebody who was with the Danish Red Cross. A woman, this woman, I know her. She's the president of the Global Fund for Women. So the Global Fund for Women, I have been given money to them since they started 35 years ago. They were started by a friend of mine. So so they've got AI scholars, they've got practicing physicians, and so everybody's a CEO of something or other. Okay, so these are so somehow or other they're supposed to bring their collective wisdom to work on some of these global issues that are the same global issues that we work on.
I used to give them money as well. I
Yeah.
used to give them money
Yes.
when
so
I lived in the Bay Area.
This reminds me of Swanee Hunt. Ambassador Swanee Hunt had a group called the Institute for Inclusive Security. And it was many, many women's groups and many powerful women in it. But I tried to find them again, and they closed down, and they moved a little bit, in theory, to San Diego, to the Joan Kroc Institute for Peace and Justice in San Diego. But there's nothing active going on. So
Right.
there needs to be something active going on, and maybe this is it.
Maybe this is it. Yeah.
Maybe this is it.
So that includes, for example, a woman called Laura Holgate, who has a proven track record reducing and how to reduce threats from nuclear, biological, chemical, and radiological weapons. So she was the ambassador to the International Atomic Energy Agency, you know, and she was vice president at the Nuclear Threat Initiative, and she was the special assistant to the president of the National Security Council and a senior official at the Department of Energy. So, you know, they have tried to gather, and there's like 32 women in this list. You're welcome to download it from the chat when the meeting is finished.
Is the thing in the chat, the chance, does it offer the chance for to sign up? You said you signed up.
They want organizations to sign up.
Yeah,
If you want to sign up as a PEP person, that would be the thing to do. They're not looking for individuals, but you would sign up
for PEP.
as the head of PEP, yeah.
And that will be in the information that you're sending.
Yes, you will go to those websites, you will find it.
Okay, thank you.
Anyway, so that's a new, and I know I've been to lots of webinars. Has anybody else been to any webinar that one of our coalitions has held that they want to tell us about?
No, but I just wanted to tell you that we have a woman called Susan Wright, and Susan Wright lives now in Santa Cruz, but she's an expert on chemical weapons. She wrote a huge book about it.
Okay.
And she lives in Santa Cruz. I don't know if she was active in WILPF when she lived in Ann Arbor, but I don't think she's very active now. But she's a professor and she goes to a lot of international meetings.
Right.
And the only contribution I can offer is that I watched the first day of the COP 30 going on in Berlin, in Brazil. And I also attended the meeting that Nancy Price referred me to for the Environmental International WILPF group. It seems there are two people from Colombia who will be talking at COP 30 regarding the military's effect on the on our environment, which you knew. On an aside, just quickie, I was very impressed with the Prime Minister of Barbados, who says there is a quick fix to where we are right now to cut the levels, the warming levels, and that's to cut methane by stopping the leaks, pipelines that bring in our gases, methane. Of course, become more vegetarian, less cattle, and something I didn't realize, less rice planting, because the water, the mud that this product is put in, I happen to like rice, is anaerobic, and it creates a lot of carbon dioxide and methane. They pronounce methane funny, but I'm getting to be like them. And the last part of that was that because of the effect on people's industry, these folks who will be out of jobs should have money provided to them. I thought it was an excellent plan to resolve our problem this year, next year, because it's so badly needed right now.
Right.
Thank you.
I also heard the woman president of Barbados give that speech. Yes, she was full of ideas. I watched many presidents and vice presidents speak that was just what I call the bigwigs speaking. The real thing starts on Monday, tomorrow, and that's what I hope Nancy Price will tell us a bit more later on in the agenda.
Okay. Yeah, I plan on attending. Thanks to Nancy, I've gotten hooked in.
Okay. So anyway, you know, Joseph Gearson, who I respect very much for his decades of work on disarmament and abolishing nuclear weapons and what he calls common security, achieving common security where everybody feels secure, so we don't need any weapons. Anyway, he's just been voted in as a vice president of the International Peace Bureau, and I hope some of you are on his email list, because even if he's not got a webinar coming up, he actually writes very sensible and reasonable and well-informed opinions, which are good for us all to read. So Joseph Gerson, Gerson. Occasionally we do, forward some of his stuff, and we definitely forward. When there's a webinar of his coming up, I let you know about it. And he
He's
has,
excellent. He has 5 expert collaborators for his writing. He's
Mhm.
quite good.
yes.
Yeah,
And
I have been to a lot of his conference in New York, and he's a friend of those friends we stayed with.
Right. Mhm.
He's
Right.
friend of them.
Right. So the
I vigil with him well, never mind. He's local. Thank you.
he's a Boston person. So I see Gloria talking about cattle farts. This is an issue, and so there are companies trying to make an additive to add to cattle feed to reduce how much farting they do, because they fart methane, and it's a lot of the production of methane in the world comes from cattle. So people have been working on additives to put to the cattle feed.
Yes, I have a video on it that was given to me a long time ago. And somebody says, stop the leak. So I didn't see that was possible.
Okay, Nancy?
No, it's the pipelines, not the cow exits. That's cute. Thank you. I needed that.
Okay, Nancy, and then
muted.
Ellen.
Ellen?
Nancy, mute.
You're muted, honey.
Thank you. A lot of the methane is coming from global warming, of course, and the bogs and other low-lying places that are losing their are warming up, are releasing methane, and so that's really a huge problem that we need to pay attention and educate people about.
The tundra.
Yeah, the tundra and bogs in Scotland, et cetera, et cetera. So just another footnote.
Yeah.
I have no idea how to control those because they also spawn a lot of life.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Ellen, I think you're home from Mexico, it looks like. But anyway, go ahead.
I'm in Mexico and I'm in a public place. So
Oh.
that's why I need to pop in at some point. This is not related to climate change, although I'm very excited that how Lula is handling this COP30 with some of the more progressive presidents in Latin American nations. But I don't know if I should bring in, just as you were closing off the discussion on the Ukraine détente, that statement, I had come to explain a little bit, just very briefly, that I was, when I saw it on the agenda, I thought I better get there and better update it to where we had it last time. And I thought I did that, but then Cheryl pointed out in an email to me just before the meeting that I had used the wrong version. So I apologize for that. I thought it was all ready to go and we could finally dismiss it and put it in a go forward type of message. But I guess it has to come later. I have no idea what you discussed, but you do see me here, and I sent the upgrade to everyone that just was more succinct and some things were left out. So I hope we can get over this quickly. But the purpose was still to get it published in a WILF in one of the WILF reports or WILF statements, because it is a statement and it was 18 people. It was unanimous vote. So we should do something a little more with it. It's kind of tying up loose ends. So it's not for discussion tonight. I know, Cheryl, you wrote me and said, let's not discuss it. But I did want to say that I'm here. And I did stop everything this afternoon and canceled one of my tours to quickly get it at what I thought was up to par, but it wasn't. So
Yeah,
I guess
I did try to tell the meeting that was what was happening, and that therefore that the ad hoc committee really needs to come together and agree on something, and then we'll be more able to get it published somewhere. And the one thing that you didn't mention, which I will just mention here, was that the president, Scheinbaum of Mexico, was groped by a man.
And well, that was a big deal here, but much bigger than that was
Yeah, I mean,
the death of one of the important mayors in Michoacan, where they still have a lot
anyway, just I read about her reaction to being groped. She's the man was apprehended, and she's doing a lawsuit against him. But anyway, that was.
You really need to know that she has made national laws now, very strict, something that we've never seen before in our own country, that is for abuse, sexual abuse of any kind, in all organizations, all departments. They're all cooperate. I mean, it is a huge national policy now. I can't wait for you all to see it. So
Thank you. Okay.
Ellen.
I don't know who listened to Rianne Eisler's talk, but she mentioned how Putin went backwards, and the laws that they had in Russia about abuse and things he made negligible. And anyway, so we go forward, some country goes backwards. It's so sad. Okay, well, let's go with Gloria. I think you're next. Interacting with the media.
Yeah, but did you get a reply from the Nobel Peace Committee, Diane?
Oh, no.
Okay.
No,
Did you actually send it as a hard copy letter?
No, I haven't done that yet.
Okay, it's on your list to do, right?
Yeah.
Thank you. That was, and also, we are trying to press, it's been one of my things to press our not so new executive director on, is the need to do press releases. So when we have a statement, when we wrote that letter to the Peace Committee about not liking Machado being a Nobel Peace Prize winner, that we need to get it out to the press. And so Linda.
Can I say something? I did give her a whole big Excel sheet of all the contacts for major media editors, and also the California ones that I developed for the Vandenberg test. So she thanked me profusely, and she has all that now.
Oh, good, because you didn't copy me on it, so I didn't know you'd done that.
I did. Oh, I'm sorry.
So, but the rest of you, if you have a local newspaper, with a reporter that you've managed to get some rapport with, then you need to send their name and email address to our executive director, so that when we have something worthy of a press release, she has a list to work from.
Well, I don't know if she's keeping a list. I hope so, but that would be good.
She has a big Excel sheet that's only a couple years old of the main editors of big newspapers and medium-sized newspapers.
Good.
So.
Right. Now send me a copy, please.
Yeah,
Okay.
my hand is also up, Gloria. Can you send me a copy?
Oh, okay, another follow-up here. I have a red pen for follow-ups.
Yes.
You could send it to everybody. Maybe we could
Yeah,
use
everybody would be good. I'm part of the everybody list.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's fine.
So that was what I had to say. Now Gloria will tell us about these letters she's been asking us to
Well, it's
consider.
not the letters. That's kind of a moot point. I think that's we did that over 3 weeks now. I've written a template letter for your GOP people about these troops that are going into the cities. Then that was a template, because you don't have to convince the Democrats, right? So that's already been sent around on the disarm discussion. I also wrote a letter to Melania Trump about nukes and working on her husband through her new friends in Russia, the staff of Putin, who she apparently is in ongoing contact. And I tried to be very diplomatic, and I sent that off. I didn't wait to have it by everyone, because people might not all want to write to Melania Trump. But as a rhetorician, I write to anyone. Talking is better than not talking. Okay, and then I wrote to Stephen Nordhaus, the head of the National Guard, the national head of the National Guard, and he's a colonel, I think. And I told him that I was very connected to Illinois, and I have family for 5 or 6 generations back there, including one that fought at Gettysburg from an Illinois regiment. And I said that, you know, I really trusted he knew the difference between domestic uses of the National Guard and international. And so neither of them has answered as yet, but they might. And I want to move beyond that, because I think that right now we're in a condition of crisis in our cities where we're not going to go back to normal. I think that that's delusional to think that after a short deployment, our cities will be back to normal. I think there have been lines crossed in civil rights and amendment rights that are now thrown in the trash can, the way they're behaving in Chicago in particular. And so we may have to just have this kind of a rapid response, grassroots news, because the corporate media is a day late and a dollar short, and so are our peace groups. They do not put out instantaneous news. I'm sorry, they don't. They're not set up for that. But this Block Club Chicago, I found 3 others: LA Public Press, Grassroots DC, they're trying to do that. They're not as far along. And there's another one in Philadelphia. I forget the name. So there are other ones springing up. They're all newer. And what they're trying to do is organize people block by block, have a professional staff, and probably founders who are credentialed reporters from major newspapers, 1 or 2 of those, and then get it set up so it's a mix of citizen journalism and credential journalism. I'm going to give a Zoom about Block Club Chicago and how it's linking up to these other grassroots, you know, neighborhood news, hyper local news, as it's called. And this will be on January 21st, I think at, I forget the time, but it's the
5
usual
o'clock
time.
Pacific. 5 o'clock Pacific, 8
5 o'clock
Eastern.
Pacific, yeah, 6 o'clock Mountain, 5 o'clock Pacific. And Diane has been very kindly looking at these slides as I pulled it together. And now I'm at the point of being able to name a couple other startups that are doing this, but every city should have this. Tucson does not have this, and we're right on the border, and they're quietly getting people. We don't know how many people are being rounded up here, because I think we have one candidate, the Copper Courier is by major newspaper reporters, and they set this up, and maybe I can talk to them about trying to get it organized. It has to be organized block by block, or, you know, little segment by little segment, and be hyper local so that they can be part of the instant alert system.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Cities do not have this. I've been doing a lot of Google searching, and very few cities have anything like this, including San Francisco and Portland doesn't have too much like that. The things they have are like bi-weekly. That's not going to work. Bi-weekly is not what you need in a situation like that. So that's all I had to say. I don't want to take too long, but because it's going to be addressed, and I'm very encouraged that they're doing what they're doing. We don't have the figures how many people they have saved from being picked up. All we have are the figures of how many people have been abducted and how many people have been subject because of their skin color to searches without even a warrant. They may have a quota per day, and oh, there's a brown one. You know, it's awful.
Yeah. So
Time?
can I just say, Gloria, that what you're doing is very good. This is also a human rights issue. So are you in touch with our Advancing Human Rights Issue Committee? I know there's one subcommittee that's border and
Immigration
justice.
Since
Please.
they're using troops, it's also disarmed, because the troops.
Right, no, but I'm asking.
Gunfire. Today there was gunfire, they claim.
Yeah. No, I'm not saying it's not ours. I'm saying, would you please make sure that what you are finding out, when you send it to us, you also send your findings.
Oh, yeah, I know George really well, and I go to her meetings, and
Good.
yeah.
Good. Right, because they you know, they are another issue committee that should be involved with this. I mean, I
And
read,
what my husband says, he's a scientist, he's very seriously saying it's not going to go back to normal. He doesn't think they crossed so many lines that, you know, people may be thinking, oh, my town didn't have that, they won't do it here. And then when it's over in Chicago, things will be back to normal. He does not think so. And if we get a Democrat in, they'll have a hard time undoing some of these egregious violations of the Constitution that have happened in these cities.
Oh, yeah. Getting back to normal will be so hard. Ellen, Mass?
Yeah, I'm sorry. The Santa Lucia Church is ringing the bell next door. I think anything related to our cities and seeking solutions, I think if we're looking solutions, we need to keep pointing to what just happened in New York, because it's such a positive thing in the United States to have Mamdani win. And I think that we can point to that is how cities are speaking up for themselves. We don't have
That's
to
true.
just, you know, we can refer to it in one sentence is a way of any
yes.
kind of press release should have have New York's success as
You
a
want to be
city.
part of an ad hoc committee to write that?
No, but you're talking about suggesting that we do more press releases on what's going on in our cities. And I just said we should include that. Mamdani's success. This is one of the
Oh, I
biggest
see, as part of one of the
things in the
yes,
whole.
yes. I
whole
understand
country.
now what you were getting at.
Sure.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I'm in a public place, so I'm going to go, but I was glad to reconnect. And
Thank you, Ellen.
But just, Ellen, just for your information, I didn't hear any bells. I don't hear any noise except you coming very clearly. So that's great.
Good. No, Santa Lucia's next.
Oh, well, would have liked to hear it probably, but anyway, okay. Thanks for coming.
Right.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, Eileen, you're next with laws.
Yeah, I just want to do a quickie for Gloria. I was on a call this afternoon with some youth that Shelby has been working with, and the two people who are being interviewed have been working on the Innocence Project in, well, it's in Arizona, but covers both Tucson and Phoenix. I bet they could get involved in some way, or we might be able to get involved, hopefully not to target them as, because one is an 18-year Indigenous woman who has been working on this kind of issue for a long time. Are you familiar, and do you work with them already?
No, I am not, but I do have, I get emails, like a newsletter from this thing called the Copper Courier. And maybe they could hook up with the Copper Courier and we could start working on this kind of networking, because I mean, we have Indigenous women being abducted, and some of them
Yeah.
are by agents of ICE, but also just there's all kinds of disappearances down here. And we need that kind of a network system. It's hard where people are not in city blocks. It's much harder. So it may not work as
They're
well
isolated.
in our
Yeah.
situation. But
Yeah.
I think in the Metro Tucson and Metro Phoenix, I think so.
Okay, if you, I'll send you some information that I have, and maybe we can talk some more.
Yeah.
Okay, my report
That would
on
be good.
laws is mainly about AI. Fran Jeffries and I have started our research. We're looking for collaborators and experts. I've lined up three, one who is teaching at Stanford, but was here in Boston. She might be very valuable because she's in her 60s and because she is somebody who is familiar with Massachusetts. So there's really not much of an update on our actual work to get that law from California or something like that put into our Massachusetts legislature. However, I found this particularly interesting. I follow the podcast that Ralph Nader puts out. He was interviewing Stephen Witz, a New York Times. You can see my email. I'm sorry, you can see my chat. he was talking about the proposal to regulate AI and how it didn't pass Newsom's desk. Now, being, I'm sure he must have known that it got passed at the late September. The last law died because Newsom refused it. And that died in December, like all laws start, and then they start all over in January with a new session. I found that very curious, very, very curious. And it's also interesting that Nader has in his Tort Museum in his hometown of Winstead, a section, a display on AI, and he's creating the words, the law that could make inappropriate AI, well, a crime, a tort law, a crime by tort standards. And that's all I really have to offer unless you have questions.
You mean on the subject of laws?
On the subject of AI. As far as autonomous weapons, I just read what was reaching out and in the recent sessions that Reaching Critical Will was involved with, and there's really nothing new.
So Judith, when I said laws, it's lethal autonomous weapons.
Got it.
That's what I was saying.
And my hand is up.
Huh?
And my hand is up.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I just thought maybe you thought it was actually laws and it's lethal autonomous.
No.
Okay.
So I'm all done unless I thought you may have had a question for me, Judith. I'm sorry.
I just want to say, Eileen, the link you sent doesn't seem to be working.
Okay, then may I just ask you to go to Ralph Nader podcasts, and his stuff, the most recent stuff is usually the first thing up, and the rest are archives. Okay?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, Judith, I'm sorry, I thought you, okay, go ahead.
Yes. When I was talking about the article in the Time magazine about gamification of warfare, one of the scariest aspects of gamification is that it described in some detail how the guys are starting to take these drones and give them commands from a distance. And then maybe they could even get to the point where they will make them autonomous. They will not need any commands from a distance. And now we will have drones flying around that are another new kind of autonomous weapon.
Oh, Judith, that's been going on for at least 2 years, and they've been using a lot of autonomous weapons in Ukraine, testing how they work. And I believe very strongly that they're a big part of the drones that are killing Gazans.
I don't believe they're autonomous yet. That's the boundary that we're
They've been testing them in Gaza. Yes, they are autonomous.
Okay, I guess Nancy and then Gloria. Nancy?
Yes. I wanted to ask Eileen about these drone clusters that work together as 5, 6, 10 clusters that are kind of like taking the place of just one airplane. Have you've read about that? I'm sure.
Brilliant. They're underwater and in the air. They infiltrate inside of a building magnificently.
Yeah.
And very few, if any, people get hurt.
Right.
And as soon as one is outed, 2 others come in, or it's prearranged. It's actually quite brilliant. But
when it's done for entertainment, you must have all seen some places are using them instead of fireworks.
Yeah, that's great.
Oh, God. Well, another, an article I read recently is that also, municipal police and security forces are using them just to surveil and, create more of a security kind of state in your city or town. So that's another dimension on how these are being used.
Yeah. And definitely on the borders. And not just our borders. They're being bought by many other countries to cover their borders.
Well, but this is how police forces are beginning to use them just
That's
in,
very bad.
just in Detroit or Ann Arbor or Davis or whatever. Yeah,
Yeah, it's very bad.
yeah.
And that's why we need regulations. However, will they regulate weapons? That was brought up on the Nader show, that, whenever I think it's on Friday, Saturday. I usually,
Comes out on well, at least it comes out for me on Saturday.
it's Saturday. I usually catch it by Sunday. I can't, anyway. But the Stephen Witt sounds like a good guy to follow in the New York Times. He is one of the tech experts. He's a 24-ish-year-old, and a lot of the there's a lot of young people in this world of tech, and they are highly competitive, and it's very, very hard because they're making millions of dollars. It's a very lucrative business.
Yeah, I forget what he said his next article for the New York Times will be. He said it, but I forgot. Anyway, okay, that he's working with It's AI, but anyway. Okay, I thought Gloria had her hand raised, but she doesn't. She's muted stuff. So I guess we should go on to PEP. So Judith, you have, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm ready to kind of, for your information, update on the progress from PEP, and I'll try and keep it really short. All of you know that we've taken about not quite 2 years to get established with a logo and a website and a bank account, all the things you have to do. So we're now established, and so it's now time to start promotion. And we are starting our promotional campaign by hiring a young woman, our own Shiley. She's also about 27 years old, and we're hiring her for 6 months to do outreach with all kinds of media outreach. I will be doing some op-eds, and my first op-ed was on the House of Dynamite, and we're going to try to send it to the New York Times op-ed section with, if you don't send it, you don't know whether you have a chance to get it taken or not, probably not. They say they'll let you know within 10 days. And then we have other lists, some long lists of other possible places to submit, and we will be submitting aggressively on my op-ed on the House of Dynamite. And then the next thing that we do is we're going to put out some press releases. So we're pulling together a list of that. And if you send me
Gloria.
Yeah, Gloria. If Gloria will send me that list, that would save me hours and hours and hours of work. I would really appreciate that. And the next op-ed I will write will be on this gamification of war, citing the article in Time magazine. And we'll again start sending them out regularly. And she's creating a calendar, a regular calendar, or the date that we have something to submit and who we submit it to. Because if you're not submitting, you're not making a dent, and you have to submit and submit regularly. So I love it when Gloria insists that we need to get the people at WILF to be, and Cheryl is hot on getting the people at WILF to also be submitting stuff regularly. That's it.
Okay, great. Cheryl and then Eileen.
Yes, I just, it's very good. So Shiley is the person you're hiring?
No. We're hiring someone who's going to be our Shiley. Her
Oh,
name
your
is,
okay, not our Shiley. Fine,
Yeah,
good. Glad we got that sorted.
Yeah.
So you must be really careful. The New York Times says you can only submit to them, and that's true of most. You cannot multiple submit. Just one at a time.
No. You can submit to them. You just, if they take it, you can't give it anywhere else. That's what they call exclusivity. It's
Yes.
not exclusivity that you can only submit to them. That would be insanity. That would make it
well,
impossible. But that isn't, I just did it today. I went on their website and they said that what it must be exclusive. You cannot have it published elsewhere. Not submitted.
But you have to be careful, because if you submitted it to 5 different newspapers and 2 of them decide
Oh, yeah,
to
we'll,
publish it, you're in trouble.
no, we're
Judith.
not going to do that.
One at a time. You must submit one at a time.
No, we can submit it, and the minute they say we're going to take yours, then we don't submit to the others.
Well, anyway,
Interesting.
you
Okay.
need to be really careful. Don't get into trouble.
Okay.
Well, what could they do?
Oh, I don't know. I suppose they can
Behead you.
put you in jail. I don't know. You'll have to withdraw from the other, I guess the other newspapers or wherever you're sending it to, if it's accepted at one right away.
Right away. That's, yeah.
My recommendation is something that I've been hearing more from younger folks, and that if you can get involved with Instagram and post there, it'd be very helpful.
She is going to be posting on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Blue Sky, and one other that I don't know.
Under what name on
You're covered.
Instagram? Under what name she's going to be posted?
Project Enduring Peace.
Oh, okay. Because I am on Instagram, so I will look.
Cool. Well,
yay.
we're not there yet.
No, well, we are. We are on Instagram, actually.
Oh yeah, we are on Instagram. We're just not paying any attention to it yet.
Well, okay.
She will be paying attention to all of them.
Yeah.
Good.
But there was fair numbers submitted to Instagram. Okay, let's go on with Nancy Price.
So I
Oh,
was
you-
supposed to say something about New Start here.
Oh, you were? I don't remember that. Oh yeah, I see it now. Okay.
So I promised, I did in the e-news article, our Disarm November e-news article, I point you to a toolkit put in a Google Doc to help you write to your representatives about the fact that the New Start treaty, we need to start now negotiating a follow-on. The actual treaty itself cannot be renewed. Okay, it was written in its articles. Now, Putin has offered to let it run again for another year, but Trump has not replied to him. Okay, this is the most annoying thing. So you're welcome to write to President Trump and tell him, please answer that Putin's kind offer to extend New Start for another year. This is the one that limits how many warheads it's just between Russia and the US, how many warheads they're each allowed to have deployed, which means they're sitting on the ICBMs, they're sitting in the submarines, they're ready to be fired, okay? And they've got to be the same, okay? That's what New Start does. So if it goes away and there's not a new treaty that's similar, then all bets are off. Everybody can have many more. Of course, we all know that you probably only need about 300 ICBMs to bring the world in, going off, to bring their weapons in them, to bring us into a nuclear winter, right? So, one could, but they don't listen to you. The military thinks more is better. But anyway, so please, this New Start is a big deal, and the need to negotiate a new one. So keep an eye out for more things that I'll be sending you by email. Thank you. Judith.
Yeah, I'm showing my ignorance again. Is this thing you're talking about called New START? I thought it was just the START treaty.
No, it's called New START because they used to have a START, and so they negotiated a new one. And so it's called New START.
And when was that negotiation? What year?
It was 14, 15 years ago.
Okay, New START. Got it.
It's definitely called New START. And there's START, which is actually an acronym for Strategic Arms Reduction Treaty, something like that. So
Right.
it is something that we want Russia and America, US, to come to some agreement on.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, great. Sorry about that. Okay, Nancy Price is next.
Well, hi, everybody. So I along with Cindy Peister and I think, well, and Eileen, I guess, that's wonderful, and Regina Sneed and Katrin Geyer, who is the advisor to International's Environmental Working Group, will all be participating virtually in COP30. Although we're awaiting directions from Katrin on how we actually get on to the virtual platform so that we can actually attend the meetings that begin tomorrow.
Just to point out, Nancy, there is a limit on how many seats they have, right?
I think they have 10, but I could be
right.
not...
So don't only ask for one if you really will use it. I'm just telling people here, please don't just off the top of it, oh, I'd like one of those seats. It's called a seat. It's a virtual seat. But Nancy and her team need to mostly be taking up those seats. Thank you.
Just a quick note, there's a difference, I think, and Nancy, correct me, seating allows you to ask questions, make comments. There's another category for just listening, hearing, watching.
Yes, I think you're correct about that. Katrin is supposed to send us a sort of, I guess, a resume, not a resume, a review of exactly the two categories you just mentioned, and how we get on that platform, because I did get a recognitions from the UN COP, but it doesn't say anything about how I get on and what time. I think these meetings start early, so I'm waiting to really, know more about how I get on. I think it's something like 6 in the morning, 6 or 7 in the morning.
Is that your time or mine?
I think my time. But this is where I'm feeling quite, uninformed at the moment, because I just got an email from Katrin, but she says that she'll let us know more on Monday, which is tomorrow. So I think I should send you this email I got from her, Diane, to go into your notes, because it has lots of links in it. But let me just say that WILPF International Environmental Working Group produced a set of key demands. I think it's about 12. That there are 2 women who are actual delegates who are going in person to Belén from Colombia, that you can follow what's going on if you're not a virtual attendee or don't have an actual seat. You can watch this on the UN web TV. So that might be interesting to folks.
Nancy, quick, I tried it and all I could hear was a foreigner speaking, and I couldn't access any interpretation. So keep that in mind unless you know how to maneuver the UN. Thank you.
Yeah, I did listen the other day to
Yeah, it worked.
the president of France, and there was English interpretation.
Yeah, yeah.
The one I caught did not. Thank you.
Yeah. And then let's see, November 15 is Global Day of Action, generated at the COP, but of course they want this to be global, and I think it will be, since it's pretty expensive. This COP is quite expensive, not only in travel, but in accommodations, etc. So I think, and actually there's of course a huge constituency out there that's very concerned about what's going to happen at this COP in terms of the impact of the fossil fuel lobbyists, the need for loss and damage commitments, and other commitments to particularly the countries of the South, or the less developed countries, who have not, of course, are not the who are the victims of climate catastrophe. Of course, they have their own carbon footprint, but it's nothing like the developed countries. And then let's see. Then the Conflict and Environment Observatory, which is a European group, has a new initiative called War on Climate that I haven't looked at myself, but organizations and individuals can sign on to. So Diane, if I send this email that I got, can you put this in the notes, or would you like me to just summarize it? Maybe I can reduce it so it's not so long.
Yeah, it would be good to summarize it, and hopefully,
Okay.
Shiley, you want it in the minutes, right?
I think it'd be nice to have it in the minutes. Then
Well, we need it for this coming week if people want to some stuff.
Yeah. Maybe I can just put it out to the disarm discussion list.
Yes, yes,
I'll summarize it tonight and put it out on the discussion list.
please. Mhm.
Yeah, okay. So the other thing is that Cindy Peister and I we have a couple of days leeway that Emily has given us, since the COP closes just a day before the e-news's deadline. She's given us a day or two extra to just be able to, Cindy and I, to collaborate and get a report in on the e-news that makes more sense than, it'll deal with what's happened at the end of COP. And often the COP goes over either some hours or a day, even, as they sort of round up what they've been discussing and make all their deals, et cetera, et cetera. So we'll have a report in. And I've had 3 e-news recently for each month, September, October, and November, that have been dealing with fossil fuels and COP. So this will be a nice, what would you call it, sort of ending and a starting, because there'll be lots to do when this COP ends, I'm sure. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, Cheryl, and then Alan.
Just to point out that the US is not sending a delegation to COP.
No, well, Trump, of course, has given notice to the UN that he's taking the US out of the Paris Climate Agreement and out of COP. Yes, you're right. Thank you, Cheryl, for mentioning that.
This is very
it will be
distressing.
you made what would you call it, official January of 26. But that doesn't really mean very much when you're dealing with Trump and his policies.
Right. So instead, he's doing all these, policy deals and trade deals, a lot to do with oil and what have you.
Yes, oil and coal.
He did his effort to open up oil drilling around our coasts was defeated. Apparently, he mused on that, and enough people said no, including Republican political representatives, that it's not going forward. So it's one of these things, if enough groups, enough type of people make known their disagreement with some of his ideas, apparently it can make a difference. Thank you.
Yeah. I think we can make a difference. I think, well, Earth Democracy is going to have a focus on the fossil fuel non-proliferation treaty, somewhat like the TPNW. And so anyway, that will be one thing we focus on and do the same thing as you just suggested, Cheryl. So thanks, everybody.
What should happen on November the
Alan
15th?
has a hand up.
That's a global day of action.
But can you send us?
Yeah,
something about it?
I will type this up
Okay,
in a reduced form, just a summarized form, and send it to the discussion list, shall I?
yes, thank you.
Okay, good. Thanks very much. Because there are links in
Hands
there.
up. There is some question, hands up.
Yes, we know. I said that Alan would speak, but we're finishing with Cheryl and Nancy.
Yeah. You have a question for me, Odile?
No, Alan,
I had a question for you, Nancy.
Oh, okay,
I
sure.
have been circulating information on geoengineering and climate change. Is that at all on this climate conference of the party's agenda? And do you have any opinion about what this man, Dale Wigington, has been circulating from California about climate engineering?
Well, I've been following geoengineering for many years now, particularly the impact that it's had up in Mount Shasta area, where they have quite a lot of evidence of the chemical, the impact of aluminum, for example, that's the particles that are part of what's being, what would you say, sprayed out from, the planes.
But that's
And
for
then, of
fire
course-
reduction, right?
No. That's what this geoengineering is doing with the
Weather.
what do we call it? The tracks, in the sky.
The seeding clouds.
Yeah.
Well, it's seeding clouds as well as trying to create a cloud, not just a cloud cover, but creating a sort of cloud or haze cover. And it doesn't really produce as much rain as it creates a haze. I can be in New Hampshire at our place there on the lake in the woods. Beautiful blue day. You start out with a spectacular, blue day. And by 11 or 12 o'clock, it's totally hazy. And all the chemtrails from the planes that are making crosshatch or other kinds of patterns in the sky have just completely ruined your beautiful blue day.
Yeah, it's the same in France, my sister tell me.
Yeah.
They're called contrails. This is not, they're not
Chemtrails, yes, sorry.
particularly trying to do anything. That's what happens when planes fly.
No, that's a special, that's Bill Gates who send all kind of particles to kind of make the earth more gray. So the sun wouldn't be burning as much, and it's to lessen climate change, but it kills a lot of people.
Yeah,
I need
and
to
it's not healthy for the pine woods either.
Right. I really don't think this is all very much a conspiracy theory to me. Oh,
No,
dear,
it's not. We
can't.
read a lot of scientific paper about it.
All right. So you send me a few of those links,
Okay.
would you? Because we've got too many people worried about other things.
I think they may have been experimenting and trying to keep it hush hush.
Well,
And
there's lots that goes on with it. There's lots of pros and cons. There's lots of believers and true believers and conspiracy theorists. But it is very interesting when you're not anywhere near any airports that you begin to get these contrails in crosshatch patterns or other kinds of patterns that you've never really seen before when you've lived around or been near airports.
Sure.
So anyway, that's enough of that. I don't want to get into conspiracy
this is the
theories.
Earth Democracy Disarm meeting now. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Alan, you still have your hand raised, but I think we answered.
Oh, yes, sorry,
Okay.
was listening instead of lowering.
Okay, so and MEPJAC, we feel that was already covered, or Dale, did you have something more to say?
No, I don't have anything to say about it. They are looking in different directions to try to get more of an action, but so far nothing very concrete.
Right, sorry, there is a webinar. We all got an e-alert. There is a
yeah.
webinar that's
Yeah.
coming out of Des Moines that WILPF Des Moines has helped to organize. It's in person, but there's a live stream possibility, and it's going to be next on the 11th. It's going to be on Tuesday. So please, everybody, look at what you got from WILPF.
I will try
National.
to send it to Disarm again.
Right. So because Jan Corderman has helped to arrange this, and it's a gentleman speaking who's an expert on Gaza. And they're meeting in person, but they're going to live stream when he's actually speaking. Okay, and I wrote it down in my diary because unfortunately
Thank you, because
I
I
should be
forgot.
listening to Condoleezza Rice at the same time speaking on democracy out of Stanford. So-
Condoleezza Rice is speaking about democracy.
yes, yes.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Anyway, so yes, that's why I'm signed up for listening to that. But the other one you can watch is he's called Dr. Zogby, Zogby. Just
Oh, yes.
search for that in your email, and you will come up with a live stream that our WILPF in Des Moines has arranged. So this is the kind of thing we should all be going to listen.
I
learn
sent the
more.
link.
Thank
I
you.
got it.
Okay, Robin, you have your hand raised?
Yeah. Just a report on Burlington WILF, and it seems to me you don't in this agenda we've discarded reports from branches, but maybe we're an issue committee, we're not branches, but just to say that we are meeting Tuesday, and we have invited this woman. Her name is Claire Hanrahan. I knew her slightly because she went over the fence at the School of the Americas a few years before I did, but she's I was going to say a rabid activist, anti-nuclear activist, but the word rabid is not a good one. Very active. She's been to prison a lot, and if anyone wants to Zoom in, I can send you the Zoom link for 5 o'clock on Tuesday to talk with her.
5 o'clock your time?
Yeah.
Right, that's 2 o'clock.
Good
I
having
was
Your time. So
feeling I'll
please,
be
yes.
top 30 worn out by then. Oh, God.
Tuesday is a popular day for having webinars.
Yes, I noticed that. I have all sorts of stuff on Tuesday also.
Yeah, if for those who can, there's a membership meeting at 7:30, and Gloria McMillan will be speaking about her development of a youth group in University of Arizona.
Yeah.
And
Rob,
that's
Can you put the
Hey.
information in the chat or?
or send it to us on the discussion listserv too, is Robin.
Yeah,
Why
right.
not? I mean, people, if they can.
okay.
Thank you.
I sent the one on Zogby on the chat.
It's in the chat. Thank you. Yes, with a live stream coming through YouTube. Thank you.
Okay, so now problems with radioactive waste, ANA, and that is, oh, you have Ellen down for that. But
Well, Ellen, it's just a reminder. We've talked about this meeting several times. Pam has talked about it, and it's going to be coming up November the 21st to the 23rd. Right, Pam?
That's right. And it is available on Zoom too. Unfortunately, Film Festival isn't available on Zoom, and which will be absolutely fantastic, but we can attend the meeting for the ANA.
Right. So that link I gave there in the agenda will take one to a registration link, I'm guessing.
I believe so. I didn't click that.
You want me to heat your food up?
Yeah. Okay.
Oh.
Yes. So yes, that's really all I wanted to say because we've talked at length about this.
Okay, Pam's okay with it, then we'll go on.
And maybe you could just try to find the Uranium Film Festival. It's in Flagstaff, and it's all around the Southwest. And look at some of the films. I don't know if they're available, but just reading about the description of the films is really informative. Thank you.
Thanks. Okay, so now is get institutions and individuals to divest. And Cheryl
Right.
wrote-
So
Go ahead.
again, I put in the agenda this toolkit that WILPF International is doing, the move the money to feminist uses, right? And which is partly what they're talking about at COP30. It's what the young WILPF is talking about in the new working group, disarmament and demilitarization. So there are multiple things going on within WILPF International, and we have tried, you know, we have suggested you have a resolution to your city council that they do not invest any of their money in weapons. And somebody sent me an email just the other day. There is a, now of course I forgot, but some city somewhere just recently did manage to get such a resolution passed. And I'm sorry, I don't remember who it was, but a smallish town. So that's
St. Louis.
This move the money has been a campaign in Michigan.
right.
Detroit passed a unanimous resolution in their city council, and another town, it didn't get anywhere in Ann Arbor yet, but that has been a campaign, and it goes with their warheads to windmills. Many efforts around the country have been trying to see how to get $100 billion out of the Pentagon toward meeting unmet human needs. That does seem like it would be a good emphasis throughout the WILPF chapters to look at how to press our Congress people through city councils to that kind of move the money. And there's some good music that goes with it too.
So, you know, if I have time, I can send an email to the WILPF branches and ask them to, you know, take this out. I mean, this is a repetition of things we've been telling you about for the last 5 years. And so but it's still necessary. And the NDAA has not yet been fully, you know, passed. And so people over the Pentagon, which are where the coalition we're in, are telling us that, you know, again, to try to get this another 100 billion removed from the NDAA. So, fine. I think that's enough on that particular topic.
Okay, so I think the next item is the treasurer's report, and Ellen left. So, and probably it's similar, but what, Cheryl?
Well, I didn't, you know, so we did discuss earlier this question of the geoengineering and the film that, and we have been sent some things to look at by Alan. I have suggested that it really is more of an Earth democracy issue than a disarm issue. So that's you know, so Alan has sent us things that you're all welcome to go look at. And Nancy just told us that it's some of this stuff she's been tracking for a long time.
Well, I have friends in the Mount Shasta area, which is north here by 3 and some odd hours. And so they're, for a long time, the last years, it's actually I haven't seen it being written about so much, but there was a lot of concern. So anyway, I'll get back into that topic and we can discuss it in Earth Democracy.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I just hope people will look at the videos and the stuff that this guy Dale Wigington has been put out. I find it very interesting and a lot of good science involved in it. There's nothing made up here. What it all means and its consequences we need to figure out. So maybe we should just spend a little more time looking at it and thinking about it before we try and get it on our agenda as what to do.
Okay.
I think it was in the documentary that you sent, Alan. I don't remember because I've read a couple of things. I got the impression that this was used above countries like Iran and in the Caribbean to change weather, which means it could be a weapon of war, just like contaminating water was a weapon of war for centuries.
Yes.
This case, it would change weather patterns, cause tornadoes or, whatever. But in this case, it would also add contaminants to their atmosphere and land on their food and land in their bodies.
Yeah, yeah.
He quotes Johnson, the president, saying, if we can control the weather, we can control the people. That is our program. And so this has been in politics for a long time. And that it has consequences, I think, are beginning to be seen, and we should look at it. And I think it's probably both for Earth democracy, because they're screwing up the Earth, and it's war against the people and against life. So it's our business too. But anyhow, look at this stuff and we can see what to do about it.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, good.
So, I mean, if I know there's a, conspiracy theory is used to describe this, but on the other hand, who would have ever thought that PFAS would have become such a problem in this country? Because the Department of Defense and DuPont and 3M were turning their heads on the evidence they were seeing in their laboratories. And, so I mean, I'm fed up with a government in the US that just thinks it's perfectly fine to ignore the health impacts of all of these different technologies. It's terrible.
It is. Glo, you have your hand up.
Gloria, you have your hand raised?
Yeah, I'm unmuting. It takes a second. If you'll go into your chat, you'll see the 3 studies that I have put in chat. There are 3 studies. I won't take too long on this because I hope to report each one at a different meeting of films on controversial issues. And most of them deal with, it took me a while to locate these, the effect of anti-nuclear war films. And actually, you have to scroll up to it. It's in the chat. And there are 3 of them. And I thought in the other part, at the end of the meeting, I could do a fast summary, one at a time, of these 3 studies. We shouldn't assume that films are always equally effective across decades because of the shifts in our platforms and how distracted people are. So there's a number of issues I hope to cover. And we shouldn't be too optimistic, but we can be reasonably optimistic that they'll have some effect. And so I hope to go over those. That's it.
Thank you, Gloria.
Oh, you're welcome.
Great. So Cheryl, you had your hand raised. But
Yes, I'm about to eat my dinner because I'm going to leave for my play at 6:30. But I did, Chris Wilbeck did send Ellen and me a Treasury report, which I can tell you that we have $2,515.67. And what wasn't clear to me was whether we actually had to spend some of this in this calendar year. I asked Ellen that question. I was hoping she was going to be here. Sometimes each issue committee gets some money.
Yes, and you have to spend it within the year.
Within the year. So I'm not sure if we've got some money that we haven't spent yet. And we should
wait a
spend.
second, though. Sorry, I'm interrupting, but
well, tell us.
You have to spend, you do need to spend the 500 that we get each year as an issue committee, but the other funds that have come to you,
you can keep
through other means, you can use in the next year.
Right. So apparently we have spent $939 this year because we've given money to other organizations to help them. So if that 900 can be said that's using up our 500, then we're in good shape.
Yeah,
But I will
so
go over this with Ellen to make sure. And Eileen, I apologize. I've not asked for your $70 yet. That was something I was supposed to do last.
I'll go to the local shelter and get some food. It's okay.
Sorry. Anyway, so yes, and I'm about to eat my dinner now, so I'm going to close off
Okay.
my video, and then I will be going very soon. But I'm listening.
have a
Thank you.
nice time.
At the shelter, thank you.
Oh,
I
shelters are
No, it's for
overflowing.
Cheryl. I know that.
I know.
Thank you all.
Are we
Okay.
signing off?
No, no. I mean, we want to
Well,
finish,
Just me, just
No.
me, just me. You carry on.
but hopefully we'll be done
okay.
soon.
Okay.
Okay, and
Oh,
Gloria,
what, I thought we were down to the end.
what?
Aren't we at the end? We're in
Almost.
other- Aren't we at the end?
I
Oh,
said
okay.
almost.
Next meeting time.
Okay. Oh, that's right.
Okay.
Yeah. 30th of November. So there it is. And any other business? Or short reports on WILF actions? And if anybody has anything to say, now's the time to say it, and then we're done.
Okay.
Well,
We need a report on human flatulence for next time.
Oh,
okay. I remember the Appalachian films when they were doing, trying to get us educated to the leaks that were occurring from all the developers out of the coal mines and this mine and gas lines. And they were afraid to go outside and smoke a cigarette because they would be blown up. And actually, they were lighting fires just by being in a certain area. My quick report is that the Burlington, Massachusetts ICE event has 4 days of action now. And Virginia, my co-chair of the Boston branch, went to it yesterday. I didn't get a report on that, but what's interesting is each group has a little different flavor. And the one she went to was a little more radical. The one with the 500 to 700 and growing number are by 2 people who are nonviolent and only have one issue. This other group has multiple issues, so I hope she came back in one piece.
yeah.
It's been very interesting to see what's happening around here. It's the only ICE detaining center in New England, from what we've heard.
Wow.
And the detainment rooms have about, I don't know, 10, 15 people, and they take turns sleeping on the floor. And forget about sanitary supplies.
Yeah.
Yeah, lots of issues. But yeah, he said that on your Zoom call, he said that there was Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I thought he said 4 days of different groups, and he talked about it.
No, there wasn't a Friday. Now there is.
Oh, there wasn't a Friday.
And the Saturday is growing a little bit, but who knows how long it'll take before that one is closed down. We'll see.
Okay. Okay. Well, anything else? And if not, we can be adjourned.
Oh, boy. It was
Okay.
great.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for coming.
Thank you.
Oh,
Good night.
Week.
Good
So
working.
Good to see you guys.
happy Thanksgiving. It's going to be,
Happy
yeah, after Thanksgiving.
Oh, yeah. we won't see it till after.
Whether you have a turkey or
I'm
whatever.
going to be out of town. I should say I'm going to be out of town, as it turns out, for the next Disarm. So I probably won't be attending because you never know about your hotel Wi-Fi. It's a new hotel.
Yeah, it is
So,
it is Thanksgiving weekend.
yeah.
I mean,
I will
Sunday.
be attending from a hotel in Solvang. Most hotels are pretty good, Gloria.
Well-
Don't be. Okay.
I'm taking time off. I'm just gonna do it. taking a
Oh,
meeting
good.
off
You
because we'll see
good.
my son and we'll probably be out at dinner. We'll be out at dinner during this hour. So
Everybody
we
needs
hardly
to
ever
take
see our
time off
son.
and refresh.
Yeah, I mean, I see my son for a total of 5 days a year, so I'm gonna make the most of it.
Oh,
Use-
good, 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 good. Okay, good night, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.